Hello guys, my name is Eirik Flipster and I'm gonna do a little tutorial on how to customize your generic ships to be tintable in Tabletop Simulator. So first off here, we're going into Blender and I'm going to open the M3A object file, which I have on in my folder here. So this is the M3A that I'm going to make tintable. The first thing I'd like to do is add material to this ship so that we can see the textures. So if you go to the textures properties of the, let's just hide that, go to the material for the ship itself, we can go to the base color and select image texture. Here we can open for instance the cartel spacer texture. Now that if we click on the viewport shading button up in the corner, we'll see the ship, how it appears in game. So what I'd like to do is to make these panels in the front and along the side here be colorful and tintable to colors according to the color ID in the game. So I select the ship and then I'll go into edit mode, and here we see all the vertices and faces of the ship. And in order to make it, we're going to split up the object into two parts, one part being the tintable faces and the other for the rest of the ship. So I'll pick the knife tool on the left side. With this tool you can slice up, cut open the mesh. So let's say that we start on the midpoint here. So I drag it up there, and I'll select that point on the midpoint here. Then let's intersect this line right here and a second one to the end here, like so. Clicking. Now you can see that we have I press enter and it does that. So now we've added some more geometry to our ship, and we should do something similar on the other side. So I'll take the knife tool again. This is going to be by eye measure, but let's say right here, like that. And then up to this point, about here, right? Then down to this vertex here. How does that look? It's more or less correct. Right, so now let's go to take the select box and select the faces modus. So now we can select which the faces we'd like to be colored. Let's just select some of them. You can shift click a face to add it to your selection, like so, and the same on the other side, like so. Now these have been selected, and now I can press the P key to split up the mesh. separate by selection. That will take the selected faces and pull them off the model. Up in the right corner you'll see we have a new group. And if we go into object mode again, we can select the part that we want to be tinted and the rest of the model. Okay. So there it is. Alright, cool. The last thing we have to do is to make sure that the tintable object is the first object in what we export. This is a little bit tricky. I haven't quite figured out how this is selected, but a trick might be to select the rest of the ship, the base, and then join them together. So I'll press Ctrl J. Now those are just one object. And then I select both of the objects and go into File, Export, Object. And I'm giving it my m3a dot obj. I'll limit to my selection only, and in the geometry tab we don't need materials, we want normals, we want UVs, and triangulate faces is good. We might have created some square faces which TTS doesn't like. So now we can press export. It's time to go into the game and see how that works. Alright, so here we are back in the tabletop simulator. Let's just create the game using the X-Wing mod. Let's go up here and spawn a new cartel spacer. Like so. Go to custom and change the mesh. I've already made some here, but my M3A, that's the one I just created. Oh, just gonna use the local file now. Press import. Alright. Looks pretty much like the, if I spawn another spacer here, you can see that it looks just the same. But if we decide to color tint that one to red, you'll see it's the first object that was imported is colored red here. It's the base and not the ship. But on our new, let's see if we did this correctly. Yeah, it's the other way around. So this is a typical thing that can happen. So let's go back to Blend. Alright, so we're back in Blend. We need to swap the order of these two objects. So what I like to do then is to grab the whatever was first and copy and paste it and delete the original, and then we'll export again, and now I have to give it a new name, because if I don't, then it would just use the cached value and I won't see any difference, unfortunately. So my M3A2, same options as before, export. Alright, let's go over into tabletop simulator. Let's change this into, or not different than my M3A2 right there. Yeah. Oh, still the same. Alright, I'm gonna cheat. I had already done this, so let's just pretend that I figured out how to do this correctly. And I'll select one of the ones I made yesterday when I fixed it. Alright, so there it is. The parts of the mesh that we pulled off, it's tinted, the rest remains the same. We can now change the color to whatever we like. And of course, over to a colorful collection here. Like so. How do you like them apples? Alright, so this wasn't done, this was done very quickly, and obviously it's not perfect. This is wider than this and stuff like that. But hey, I am not the modeler, I'm just the programmer. So make something nice. Cool, that's it. Thank you. See you around.